Good morning. This is just a report about my 2018 Africa Twin 1000cc basic with manual gearbox. I bought it in 2019 April in Dubai, and now I am back in my country, Italy. So the bike traveled with me back from the Middle East, where it passed the first 3 years of its life, 3.5. So yeah, the bike is now 119,000 kilometers, and just a report on the fundamentals. I have taken some notes about reliability, maintenance, and the works I have done. So talking about reliability and maintenance, the bike has never had a single problem in 6 years. 5 years ago I started to do a lot more of off-roading. I just came back from a little bit of fun with some friends near Milano, my city. So yeah, reliability, absolutely bomb-proof. After 119,000 kilometers, I still see no puff of smoke. Never seen a drop of oil in the garage. Oil consumption is around 500 grams every 10,000 kilometers. So absolutely nothing. I've done the valve clearance at 96 or 98,000 kilometers. And my Honda mechanic said that there was only one valve out of the 8 valves, an exhaust valve that was just outside the tolerance, meaning that of course it is a very strong and reliable engine. Of course it's 1000cc with less than 100 horsepower, so in modern age it's very little power for the potential capabilities. Reading some of my notes. Maintenance, I have done the regular services. The Honda says oil and filter every 12,000 kilometers, which I religiously have done, always in a Honda dealer, either in the Middle East or in Europe. Now that the bike is getting a little bit older, just for the sake of respect of the bike, I changed the oil maybe a little bit earlier than the 12K. Of course, all the regular maintenance is done properly by Honda, just because they give you the warranty on the job they do for you on the bike, and there are records for everything that has been done. Of course, some oil change, I've done it myself, but it runs as smooth and as regular as it was new. As said, I've done a lot of off-roading in the last 5 years, so I will also explain you what I have done to enhance a little bit of the performance of the bike and how to make it a little bit more robust and sturdy and strong. So let's talk about the performance, how to enhance the performance of the bike, starting from the front. Because I do a lot of off-roading, I bought myself a second set of wheels, XL Takasago wheels with a little bit narrower canal, so I can use more specialized tires. Of course, it is still a tube type, which I prefer, because if I bend the rim or if I cut the tire on hard terrains, I can always come back home just by changing the tube. So Takasago wheels with dedicated hub. Then I have changed the front fork, the fork cartridge with the Andreani cartridge, which makes the bike much more controllable. It's smooth. The bike always used to be a little bit vague entering corners, always have to be adjusted middle of the corner. It's not a very fun bike to ride on the road, or off-road, but with 600-700 euros you change the cartridges and the bike has changed quite a lot. In the back I have bought myself an Ohlins dedicated for this model of bike. The The original mono is quite a disaster if you use the bike a little bit more harder with maybe passenger that I never take, or luggages or off-roading. So of course it changed the behavior of the rear end of the bike quite a lot, and I think it's the best €1,000 I have spent on the bike. Performance, again, I have changed the whole exhaust system. Now this is a full exhaust by Arrow. I opted for Arrow because I'm an old guy, and Arrow has been historically partner for racing with Honda in the past. And yeah, it changed, of course, noise. It makes a noise I like better, and it's got a little bit more grunt, a little bit more response, but I feel now that the bike is a little bit leaner. The engine is a little bit leaner, so I probably will have to go through a remapping of the original ECU just to give a little bit more fuel in the mix, just to add a little bit more of responsiveness, especially at low revolutions. Another thing I've changed is the rear sprocket. The original one is 42 teeth. I now have a 44 for the last couple of years. The reason why, it's because there is a lot of distance between first and second gear, which you don't notice if you go on the road, but if you do off-roading, especially slow, uphill, rocky, narrow, etc., etc., the second gear is too long. So by changing the rear sprocket to 44 gives me a usable second gear, and also a third gear where it was not possible to use earlier. So this is make the bike feel a little bit more agile, more responsive. Even riding on the road, it's more prompt. I have lost maybe 300 or 400 RPM, meaning that at the same revolution I travel at 5,000 RPM. I have lost maybe 6, 7 or 8 kilometers per hour of cruising speed. Yeah, these are the beautiful XL rims. So I have another set that I use only for the road, so when I do off-roading I only change rims, and it's easy and fast. I don't have to go to the tire guy every time. Performance, that's it really. Nothing has been done to the engine. Then another few notes that I've taken. Let me see. Okay, let's talk about how I improve the robustness of the bike. The bottom here, the engine guard is an Outback Motortech. For the last 4 years it's been taking a lot of hits in Oman, especially. That is very rocky. All the Middle East, Oman, Saudi, Qatar, UAE, and now even in European off-roading that I am still learning, because it's very different from the big pistes in the Middle East, even in sandy pistes. So engine guard at the bottom, Outback Motortech, and then the low side guards always of Outback. The bike fell 1,000,000 times, literally 1,000,000 times. You see, it's actually quite used, but the body is still its original body in decent condition. So really strong. One time it unwelded here from a big crash that I had, so it was necessary only to take this apart and re-weld this part, which, you know, I understand it's actually quite normal if you fall so many times. Handguards, this is the second set I have from Sycra. Yeah, it's equivalent to those, how do you call them? Anyway, handguards, whatever they called. And then I have made this little thing here. I have bought. This is a U-shape connection between the chassis and the, let's call it tower. Okay, this part is quite delicate if you do a lot of off-roading, so this U-shaped thingy is keeping this part a little bit stronger. I put my Montana here, which is always with me when I do off-roading or I travel, and this is from a Norwegian website. It's around 90 euro, this little piece, which is very expensive, but never had a problem. I mean, it keeps everything stronger. These ones I have broken the original ones already a couple of times, so I opted for these ones. These are quite expensive, but you know, they are very durable, very strong. Talking about sorry, I forgot to say, incredibly, the clutch is still the original one. It blows me away because I have to say, I have done a lot of sand pists in the UAE or in Saudi Arabia, and sand is very hard on transmission, really hard. I ask my Honda man, and he says you don't have to do anything as long as it doesn't slip or it doesn't make noise. It actually works always on the same spot. Same with the brake discs. Of course, I have two sets. This is the newer set on the off-road set, but the road one has got more than 90,000 kilometers on it, and the rotors, the brake discs, are still original one, meaning that the brake pads are a fantastic mix that the Japanese engineers have written, of course. So I have always used original brake pads, original materials, engine oil, always the same, always same original in a Honda bottle. I don't care what's inside, as long as I respect the specs of a lot of Japanese engineers that know better than us how to make this bike run for a long time. Nothing else really to I have changed a lot of brake pads. I have changed transmission, which is front, rear, sprocket and chain, every 20 or 30,000 kilometers. I changed the rear hub shocks, which are inside of the hub, once because they at 110,000, because there was a little bit of play. The only thing I was left the only thing that let me down was this battery. Changed at 106,000 kilometers and it's not an original battery, so after 13,000 I was left on the road stranded because one of the elements inside broke doing off-roading and all the shaking. So that's the only thing that really let me down in 6 years. Talking about the performance, I forgot, I have used a lot of tires, as you can imagine, both on road and off-road. Tires, I have used Pirelli, Avon, Metzeler, Bridgestone, Continental, Dunlop. So for the road, they are all the same. They all perform really well. I especially love the Avon AV54 for road use that are 80/20 road biased. Incredible tires. Now I have Continental Trail Attack 3 for the road, which are sport tires. At the end of the day, are really good. The one I like the least are the Pirelli STRs, because yeah, they have good grip, they are good enough for what they do, but I feel nothing. I have zero feedback. Where, for example, on the Metzeler road, how do you call them? Yeah, the normal ones, the road versions, they give you a lot of feel, like the Avon, for example, or the Mitas. I had one time in Albania, I had to change tires, and they gave me some Mitas, and they are really good feedback, which is what I want. I want feedback. I don't need special performance. Just I need to know what's happening under my wheels. For the off-road, I went through different tires. This is the one I'm using now. It's a Dunlop D908RR. This one here. It's really an incredible tire. I can do around 3,000 kilometers on it as a mixed terrain. They are used by some Dakar guys, meaning that the carcass is very robust, very strong. The compound is very good for hard terrains. Of course, when it gets wet, off-roading, it's another sport, and the Africa Twin is not the one I recommend for mud riding. So let me see if I forgot something. Not really. Well, yes, I could speak the whole day, but it would be unnecessary. My opinion on the bike. The bike is exactly what I need. Reliable. I do long trips, always solo. I don't ride with anybody else unless I go off-roading in technical areas where we are a bunch of guys, so we can help each other. Reliable. Like every Honda, you jump on it, feels like you've driven it for forever. It's not particularly good in anything, especially with stock suspension. It's actually quite lazy, not precise. The front end is quite vague when new. I like the 1000cc better than the 1100 because it's a much more simple bike. It doesn't have as much electronics. It doesn't have so many things that can break. It's heavy, and that's the main problem of this bike. It's very heavy. I am a small guy. I'm 173 centimeters for 74 kilos. I feel the weight at very low speed, and 99% of the times I fell was because I was going slowly onto difficult areas, rocky, or you know what I mean. That's it. It travels well. Somebody says that the seat is hard. I couldn't care really. If I want to do a long trip like I did a few times, I buy myself an IKEA sheep skin that I put on the seat, and on that I can sit all day without any problem. The bike doesn't have a cruise control standard, so I bought myself the Karoo that has been on the bike for a long time, since new actually, and with this little clutch here, adjustable, I can ride no hands forever. I did recently Dubrovnik Milano, which is 1150 kilometers in one day, and I'm not saying I arrived in Milano fresh, but it was just late at night. But it rides forever and ever and ever and ever. I'll keep it. I will keep it. Yeah, I will keep it because now it belongs to my heart. It belongs to me, and if I have to change it, I will buy myself a KTM 890 Adventure R, which is to me the best off-road bike in its category. Not just I'm not saying that I'm not that good, but who understands about off-roading knows that KTM is of a different league. It's lower body center, fantastic suspensions, great balance, and it's a lot of fun. Nothing else to add. The bike is dirty because I done had some fun yesterday. Oh yeah, I previously had the rack for the luggages because I was traveling much more long distance. Now I do less distance because I'm getting older. So I removed the racks from Outback Motortech, and I chose the Kriega Reckless system. So I have 12 and 12 liters, and when I want to go camping in the Alps or somewhere, I don't know, I have space to put here my 30-liter roll bag from Kriega. Here I keep my tools, all my tools. As said, I use tubes, so I bring tubes, I bring levers. I've already changed the tubes a few times, once in Iraq, once in Oman. Anyway, you have to be able to do it yourself if you ride solo. And on the right side, I have all my rain gear, extra mask, stuff, you know, stuff that you want to bring. And but it's a work in progress. You always learn what to bring and what not to bring. That's it. Sorry for the long story, but it was worth it explaining how incredible this bike is. Again, it's not the most fun bike I've ever had. I had the supermotos, I had CR252 stroke, I had sport bikes, trial bikes, but this, to be honest, at 53 years old, is the best balanced bike I've ever had in my nearly 40 years of riding. I don't have a car, so this is my everyday use bike. Thank you very much for your patience. I am, maybe I was too long, but 6 years together and more to come. And this is me, the owner of the bike. My name is Luca, and thank you very much for your attention, and ride safe. Goodbye.
Borealis, psilocybin, dancing on the sky. This is heaven, this is life. And when I see you, it makes me feel alright. Got the stars behind you, and all else seems to fade. You guide you through the lonely nights and slowly slip away. And how we're taking you for granted, wrapped up in the moon. Someday they will burn like me and you, Aurora Borealis. Word on the street as you left town without a trace, where to be found. Aurora Borealis, what's your number? I like the way that you dance. You got the stars behind you when all else seems to fade. Got you through the lonely nights and slowly slip away. Or have we taken you for granted, wrapped up in the moon? And someday they will burn out, just like